Hello friends, Hope Thunder Chief here. Just posting a video. It's been a while. Been busy with life. But did manage to go see the big boy steam engine. You may or may not be familiar with it. If you get a chance to go see it, I highly recommend going. It's really cool. I'm an old steam train buff fan anyway, so it was really cool to see it. I've seen a lot of other steam trains, but anyway, just sharing some videos about heading up to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. About 5-hour ride for me. This day was beset by technical difficulties with camera problems. My GPS carried us off route down through downtown Jackson, Mississippi. Not a big deal, it's always cool to see some new place, but man, they got some rough roads, let me tell you. But here, this particular part, I'm headed up Highway 98, headed towards Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And this road actually goes by a place where I spent about 5 years of my life, and when I was called up for active service with the National Guard from 04 to 09 at Camp Shelby, one of the largest National Guard training sites in the United States. But anyway, so like I say, just wanted to share this trip with you, some of the scenery I get to see. It was supposed to rain was threatening as the further north and west we went, but oh no, it didn't run into any rain until I got out of Pine Bluff way later in the day. This is headed up towards Yazoo City, this part, and this road actually has some Indian mounds in the median that they've, I guess, built like a visitor center or whatever. I didn't take time to stop. Maybe a trip in the future if I can arrange it. Continuing on up towards Yazoo City. And it's a really nice road scenery. I'd only been on this road one time. It was many years ago, and it was in a car. I wasn't even driving. So it was nice to finally get on the bike and experience it from the Voyager. So, which, speaking of, ran fine. The only problem I had at this time was I had bought a Michelin Commander 3 tire, and I don't know what the problem was. I don't know. I went through a lot of back and forth with the dealer looking at it after I got back, and ultimately just replaced the tire with a stock Bridgestone. That cured all of the ills, so don't know what to say. I won't be buying another Michelin, I can tell you, after all the grief and heartache I had on that thing. But that's another tale for another day. Here we're going over, I believe it's the Yazoo River. May not be sure, but this river always muddy, according to my brother-in-law. He used to live in this part of the world, and he said that river's always muddy, never clears up. So just part of the natural environment going into the delta of Mississippi. Lots and lots of farmland, really nice. Here you can see we've made it to Pine Bluff. We arrived late, but we did manage to catch about 15-20 minutes of the big boy while it was there. Like I say, GPS problems had rerouted us through downtown, and that eat up a bunch of time. Or downtown Jackson, and that eat up a bunch of time in the trip. But like I say, it still managed to get there. Did get some good video. If there's a way to do it in CapCut to where you can mute the music and have the sound, I have not found it. But if you want to, there's plenty of video with audio for the big boy out there on YouTube. I'm sure that other social media programs has lots of big boy footage as well. And if you want to go hear it, go there, and because has a really cool horn, and then the sounds from a steam engine are always cool. And like I say, I managed to get it right before it pulled out the station there. They had made a stop at the Pine Bluff depot from back in the day, and And this shot happened purely by accident. Just pulled up, parked, kind of figured, hey, the train's going to come this way. I'm going to park here. Just very lucky, blessed, however you want to look at it. But was really cool. I did carry my drone, and I can tell you, trying to drone and film with an iPhone was a little bit stressful. So trying to get the right angle, because one, like I said, it just took off over a crowd of people, trying to just make sure that, it wasn't directly over the crowd, something happened. So, but anyway, here's some of that drone footage. Like I say, I'm so glad that I got to capture this, share it with you guys. Like I say, there's lots of big boy footage, way better than this, but because that's what a lot of people do. They go and they follow the big boy on its various trips around the United States. Union Pacific should be commended for maintaining an active STEAM program, because if they make any money off of it, I'm not aware of it. It's just a kind of a PR thing for them. And they spend a lot of money going around the country, showing off the big boy. And as far as I know, the big boy historically never run these tracks. It was meant for like North Dakota and the coal fields to haul big coal trains, because they had like long inclines and they need a lot of horsepower. And this is in the ending days of steam and the beginning days of diesel power for railroads. But anyway, Union Pacific had, I don't know how many of these they built. I want to say about 40 maybe. I'm sure that some of you guys are way more knowledgeable about it than I am. I could go look it up if I wanted to. I know that there was about 6 or 8 that survived being scrapped. Some were doled out to museums, and others just static displays in towns. And Union Pacific went out to L.A. and other places and evaluated the survivors. And this one was in L.A. and been stored there. And due to just, I guess, the environmental conditions being favorable to preservation of a steam engine, it was the one they deemed the easiest to restore. So that's what they did. And I think they spent about $8 million doing it. So, like I say, Union Pacific should be commended for that. It's, a lot of companies, the bottom line means everything. But, Union Pacific did invest in this, and they still have a pretty active program as far as, like I say, their steam engines. I know that I think when they put this one in service, they took one out. So, anyway, and I know they include a diesel electric that you'll see. I think that's the 3rd car in line. And I think that's mainly just to provide like electrical power and possibly, a backup in case there is problems with the steam engine, to move it to a safe location, get it off, mainline tracks, because they do run it on mainline tracks. So anyway, enough about the big boy, really. There's some shots I got of the Pine Bluff Depot, the Voyager, and some old historical buildings downtown. And man, it was quick, because after that thing left town, it wasn't 20 minutes, and this place, poof, was a ghost town. I was really amazed at how quickly it ended. So there's a good shot I got of the Voyager at the depot. Now we spent the night in Little Rock and got up to Rain, and I rode I-40 all the way to Memphis the next day. It rained pretty much the entire trip. But like I say, the Voyager is such a competent motorcycle, in my opinion, that I never had any what I would consider close calls or scares. But then again, I don't ride like a crazy person when it is raining anyway. I try to slow down, take it cautious. And here we are the next day in Memphis. We went to Graceland and stayed at the Graceland Hotel, which was really nice. If you've never been there, it's a nice place to go visit. It's on the grounds of the estate. And if you've never been to Graceland, that's pretty cool to go see. Of course, Elvis, being such a cultural icon and a music giant that he still is, maybe in time it will fade. Maybe it has faded some, but for me it was it was really cool to see. And then we went to Sun Studios, which is right here where Elvis, I believe, made his first 5 big hits before Sun Studios. Sam Phillips sold his contract to RCA, and he went on to, of course, great success in the remainder of his life. But it was really cool to go here, and it was amazing at all the people from Europe that come and take that tour and just, have such an affinity for Elvis and Southern culture in general, which was kind of shocking to me. But hey, we go to England, we go to Europe, they come here. Nobody's happy. Anyway, little fact is my wife was actually a distant relative of Elvis, so that had a little more special meaning for her. I'm a Shelby Foote fan. I've read some of his books, and since I was in Memphis where he lived and he passed away, I found out where he was buried, and I wanted to go visit it. And of course, this is Elmwood Cemetery. It's very historical. Nathan Bedford Forrest, or General Nathan Bedford Forrest, very controversial figure in history, was actually buried there after he passed, him and his wife. And then the good citizens decided to excuse me, dig him up and his wife and place him in a different place with a big statue. And over the years, I got to be kind of distasteful for Memphis and people, so they moved him to. But he couldn't be reinterred here, according to the guy at Elmwood. They just didn't want it. So, as you can see, some of you had relatives that were buried there, and that's what the guy said. He said, if they were ever moved, they can't come back, pretty much. So I was kind of shocked by that, but oh well. And I would have thought that Shelby Foote would have had maybe a little bigger marker, but he didn't. And I found this, the grave with a horseshoe over it, the headstone. I have no idea what that means. So if anybody else does, please, let me know in the comments. And then, like I say, just toured that cemetery. It's pretty cool. They're still actively burying people, on the kind of like the western side, because I guess this is all the old side and it's pretty much filling up. But the next day we went on down to Tupelo, where Elvis is from, went to some of his hangouts. That's my wife doing the symbolic handshake with him when he did the concert at the fairgrounds. But it was all in all just a great trip, folks. And as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And God bless. Enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. Anyway, take care. See you next go.